So first and foremost, as a patron, I appreciate your support. I'm gonna do a lot more videos, man. That's like my goal this year, to share all the information that I've had and been blessed to learn and understand. We got all kinds of cool stuff. So today, I can't give you. Oh man, come on! It's always something. So I can't give you a total commitment to this, but this is AVA Mastering EQ from Harrison, and this is a new plugin. It's very inexpensive, and I wanted to use it for this video. I actually like the old Lightning. Now this is a trailer we did for a movie, and it was a lot of work. I mean, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot going into this. So I want to talk about EQ and what you can do, and what each EQ, the way that I think about EQ. And I want to do that in this video so you can get an understanding of how I perceive these things in my head, whatever that means, but how I listen to stuff. So the first thing is, I'll let you listen to this. I'm going to turn this down so we get a little bit of headroom. Actually, I'll do that on the clip itself, because this thing is dimed out. Okay, this thing is very loud, but I wanted to use this for the purpose just to show you some of our production. And also, I really know the material, so I can understand why I do what I'm doing as far as when I EQ it. So let's listen to it. Let me turn this off. Hold on a second. So this was Freddie DeMarco. You've probably seen him on some Vox videos and Korg videos. An amazing guy. He, with myself, we put this together. And you'll hear his guitar playing on this. It's insane, dude. So let you listen to that part, dude. It blows my mind. He actually played this, okay? I don't know how much time adjusting was going on, but he was dead on. So congrats to him, dude. He's a phenomenal, phenomenal musician. Listen to this. That's so sick, dude. Okay, so I want to go from left to right and talk about each frequency the way I perceive it. So this EQ is actually really cool to do this, because I can just shape it and things like that, which is really neat. And it's just a new plugin, so it's fun to use. So the way that I look at an EQ is this 20 hertz range to 30 hertz, it actually has a body, it has a presence, it has a feel. A lot of systems, smaller systems, laptop systems, they're not going to transfer that, and you're not going to hear it, and they're just going to take up a bunch of the headroom in the recording. One school of thought on this is just turn it all down. Get rid of it. You know, you don't need it. And that's actually a really good school of thought when it comes to 20 hertz. But when you start to affect the 30 hertz range, you're in trouble. Okay, so now you're starting to take that 30 hertz, and that's where a lot of the low end and the thud in the body of a sound, the impact, the rumble in a theater and all that stuff. And if you take that away, then you might, the actual, depending on the sound system, the theater, and where you're at, it might sound skinny. So watch as I take this away and see how skinny it gets. It's taking all the sub-low end stuff. So you're losing all that low end from like 60 hertz and down. That's a really, really transparent EQ. And what it is like on a big system, if I wasn't in my headphones on these Bauer and Wilkins we have in the studio, or these Focals, you would just hear that whole entire low end disappear. And it's going to sound good on your cell phone, it's going to sound good on your Oratones, your NS10s, it's going to sound good on your headphones. But that body and that impact that sub has is going to change perception. So as I listened to this was the original that we sent to the actual gentleman that we were sending it to. So let me see what I would do as far as just adding some of that sub so you can hear it. Yeah, I knew I'd run out of headroom. This thing's so jacked, dude. Off. So as you being a subscriber to my Patreon page, you just probably learned a really big trick that I did without even really thinking about, just from doing this as much as I've done it. If I turn down the trim and a guy says, hey Doug, man, I really want it to just sound bigger and louder. So I turned it down 6 decibels and then I lifted the bass about 6 decibels. So I changed the overall perception. Now, if we want to bring some of the high back, we'll continue to explain that as I go on through the EQ. But now this sounds really warm and big, and I could see like a voiceover coming over this. So listen to it now when we take it off and then turn it back up. Sounds like a theater to me. Okay, so the low sub stuff is very important. Now, as I said, let's mess with the 20 and get rid of that. You don't even hear it on these. Off. Track back up. Okay, so really cool, right? So that's what I've been spending some of my time on. Now, if we reset that, the thing is this, there's a difference between 80, 90, and 100 hertz, okay? 100 hertz is more the body, so you got a little bit more of the body of the image. So let's mess with that so you can hear that. This is where you're going to get the roundness of the kick and the sounds. Notice how the image of the low end and the bass and the depth and the perception came forward. So now I'm really paying attention to that drum, that doom, 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 doom. So it sounds like a drummer. What I mean by that is 80, 90, and 100 is actually the body and the beef and the depth and the roundness of the drum. So if you feel like your track sounds skinny, it's probably that. A lot of times what I'll get in a mix, so think about this, is I will get this, especially in hip hop, pop, EDM, like where the 100 range is gone. I mean, it's just not there, and then it's all sub, so it sounds like this. So if your track sounds like this, just do an exact flip. That just take a mental picture of that in your mind, like, okay, that skinny hollow sound. That's the sound when you don't know what's wrong, but there's something wrong. It's usually too much sub, not enough 100, not enough 120, not enough 200, not enough body. So it just sort of sounds weak, and you don't know why. A lot of times in mastering, we're fixing this. We're fixing that 100, that 160. Actually, on the Maag EQ in the rack here, there's a 160 knob that pushes, and that's just something to think about. So I just wanted to give you that real quick on this video. So now let's listen to it without it. So now what's the 200 range? The 200 range, when I first got into engineering, it was that range where everybody said, oh, in hip hop, dude, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. It's muffle. It's muffle. Now, I'm going to tell you something. So that's the muffle they're talking about. It's the hollowness. It's the atmospheric of the harmonic of the percussion of the where all the mud sits. Okay, 200 is usually a range where mud sits, and it's where, you know, poor quality capture in a room, or something to do with the proximity effect of a mic, or the actual body of the verb, or the disdain. Listen to like the hollowness in the 200 range. But that bram, that duh, it sounds great in that range. So, don't get rid of it. Don't get rid of all of it, just balance it. So, in this case, let's balance it to the track. So let's balance some 100, let's balance some sub, and let's balance some of this. Like that. You can hear that woo. Now let's listen to that bram. Let's hear where that let's hear really where that bram, that's that wah. That's sweet. So now you got this.